In the market, there were sounds of different stands calling out their prices, and people rushing to and fro. In the midst of this din, a small fruit stand belonging to the family of Femi was present. He was in his early 20s, with a gentle face and the hands of one who had worked very hard. Poor background notwithstanding, Femi nurtured dreams of getting a better life. Opposite the road, a sleek car paused to a stop, and out alighted Oma, an enchanting young beauty in her late teens, dressed to the nines in expensive clothes. She was the daughter of a rich businessman, and her life had known only affluence. She was accompanied by her friend, Amarachi, who was equally fashionably dressed. Amarachi said, feigning annoyance, "Oma, what are we doing in this dusty market? You know you could have anything delivered to your door." Oma said while smiling, "Amarachi, sometimes it's nice going out and seeing the real world. Besides, I promised Mom I'd buy her some fresh fruits." As they walked through the market, Oma's eyes found their way into Femi's through the crowded street. There was immediate connection, a charm that neither can dismiss. Rendered dumb with beauty, Femi looked as she walked up to his stand. Oma said, "Good afternoon. How much do these apples go for?" Femi replied, "Good afternoon. They are 500 naira per dozen." Oma said, "I will take 2 dozens, please." Femi hastily wrapped up the apples, his hands were shaking a little. He reached them to her, and as their fingers touched, there was a spark. Amarachi said, "Oma, we need to go, we are late already." Oma said, "Yes, you're right. Thank you for the apples." Femi replied, "The name is Femi." Oma smiled warmly at him, "Thank you, Femi, I'm Oma." They exchanged smiles, and then Oma walked away. She looked back once more. Femi watched her disappear, and his heart was aglow. He knew he might never have seen her again, but he cannot help but hope. Days passed, and he cannot get Oma out of his mind, just as Oma cannot get the image of Femi's gentle eyes out of her mind. It would appear as though life was bent on getting these two from worlds that are worlds apart together. On such an afternoon, Oma walked back to the market alone, quietly beaming at Femi's stand. Oma said, "Hello again, Femi." Femi looked up in surprise, and extremely pleased at the same time. "Oma, you're back. What brings you here?" Oma said playfully, "I enjoyed the apple so much that I wanted some more." They shared a laugh and the conversation was ignited. They talked about it all, from their dreams to their families and to the stark differences in their lives. The time spent together created the bond strong. Oma said softly, "You know, I don't believe I have ever met anyone like you. You are so different from the people in my world." Femi smiled and said, "You are different from anyone that has passed through my life, Oma. You make me believe in something more, better." Their friendship blossomed into something more, and they knew the challenges that lay ahead. The difference in their social status was one hurdle that did not seem to be surmountable. In Oma's house, Chief Okeke, who is Oma's dad, was so traditional and demanding from his daughter. He was in his study when Oma, with a wrinkled expression showing her worry, came in. Chief Okeke said, "Oma, what have I heard about your keeping appointments at the market? Market is a place meant for people other than you." Oma replied, "Dad, I met someone, a man. He's different, and I care about him." Chief Okeke looked up, and was concerned. Chief Okeke asked, "A man? Who is this man?" Oma braced herself. "His name is Femi. He works at a fruit stand in the market. He's not rich, Dad, but he's kind, and he has dreams." Chief Okeke's expression hardened. Chief Okeke commanded, "Enough. You are not throwing your life away over some poor market boy. You have a future, a bright one. You will marry someone who can provide for you, who is of our class." Oma replied, "Dad, I love him." Chief Okeke said, "Love? You are too young to understand what love is. I forbid you from seeing him again." Oma walked out of the room, her heart shattered but her spirit unbroken, knowing her feelings for Femi are true and willing to fight to the end for them. At the market, Femi waited for Oma's arrival. She then arrived, crying. Femi was so concerned and asked, "Oma, what's wrong?" Oma replied, "My father, he doesn't approve of us. He wants me to marry someone else." Femi was hurt, but he was sure of what he wanted. "Oma, I may not have much, but I love you. Whatever it takes, I'll fight for you." They hugged, and the battle ahead of them now the toughest their love would ever see. Oma has continued to see Femi behind her father's back, who has been really firm and strict on the matter. The pressure was getting overwhelming. One evening after an especially rough argument with her father, Oma met with Femi, and her face was wet with tears. Oma said, "Femi, I really don't know how much longer I can do this. My father is threatening to disown me. I really don't want to lose you, but neither can I afford to lose my family." Femi was heartbroken yet understanding. "Oma, I wouldn't want you to have to choose between me and your family. For your peace of mind, I'll just let you go. I love you too much to see you unhappy." Oma broke into tears as if this were the last time she was ever going to hold him. "Both know what this means," Oma said, "and how can I survive without you?" Femi whispered, "We will always have the memories. And who knows? Perhaps someday, the world will be kind to us." They shared one last, gentle kiss before parting ways, both broken, yet resigned to their fate. Years have gone by. Oma was now a woman of substance in her own right. All these years she has never been able to forget Femi. She has never married, much against her father's wishes, channelizing all her energies into her career. One day, she walked into an upmarket restaurant to meet some friends, which included Amarachi. She heard a voice calling out to her which sounded so familiar. She turned around to see Femi, confident, successful, and the owner of this restaurant. Oma was shocked. "Femi, is that you?" He turned, and his heart skipped as he saw the woman he never stopped loving. Femi said with joy, "At last, it has been a very long time, Oma." They sat down and catch up with the years they spent apart. He told her how he had to work very hard, saving every penny just to open his own business, right from scratch, and how he never stopped thinking about her. Oma said tearfully, "Femi, I have missed you so much. I had always hoped we would find our way back into the arms of each other again." Femi said softly, "Perhaps, Oma, this is now our second chance. Now, nothing should get in our way." A hopeful smile between them. It's clear their love story is far from over. In a world against them, they have been reunited somehow, this time so set on making it work. Sometimes, love will take us on journeys that are not planned, filled with heartache and sacrifice. But true love always finds a way, no matter the obstacles. The story of Femi and Oma keeps reiterating the fact that when two hearts are meant to be together, no one can hold them apart. Thank you for watching. Please, don't forget to subscribe.